What's up, everyone? Welcome back to King Anime Review, and for this video, I'll be talking about the Boruto anime in 2022. Now, you guys may have seen that I kind of stopped reviewing the Boruto anime after the Funato Clan arc ended, and the thing is, I did see every arc from that from 2022, and before 2022 started, I had watched every single episode of the Boruto anime, including some of those in-between episodes that's in between certain arcs that some people call transition episodes, and some people even call them filler episodes, even though they're not filler because the Boruto anime doesn't really have that many. The Boruto anime barely has any filler. For more information on that, go watch my filler explain video. But yeah, by the time 2022 started, I had watched every single episode of the Boruto anime. I wish I can say the same thing now, but there are a couple episodes that I didn't watch in 2022. And those were like basically the episodes that was in between the Funato Clan arc and the next arc that came after that, which was the Kawaki and Himawari Ninja Academy arc. However, I did watch, like, I think one or two of the episodes. I did watch the episode where the Uzumaki family went on a vacation and they were in the hot springs and they were playing ping pong. That episode was absolutely fantastic. 10 out of 10 episode. I loved everything from that episode. Just it just showed Kawaki bonding more with the Uzumakis, you know, even Hinata and Himawari. He said, like, oh, why would I go on a family vacation when, you know, I'm not part of the family or something along those lines. And I believe Himawari and Hinata were basically saying, no, you are definitely a part of this family. So that episode was fantastic, adding more to the bond between Kawaki and the rest of the Uzumakis. I wish we got more of that. If you guys seen I made a video. I forgot the exact title of it, but it was something about what I want from the Boruto anime in 2022. I didn't get everything that I wanted. In fact, I barely got anything that I wanted in terms of like anime original arcs and anime original content. One of the things I wanted to see Kawaki meet the Hyuga clan, specifically Hinabi Hyuga, who is his adopted auntie at this point, and it's kind of strange that we never seen him meet Hinabi Hyuga or Hiyashi Hyuga, who is basically his adopted grandfather. We never seen him meet those two characters in the manga or the anime, so I think it's a huge missed opportunity that Kawaki didn't meet them and interact with them. Also, I think the anime could have used some anime original episodes or arcs to give us more detail and depth about Kawaki, like at least about his mother. They should have at least showed his mother, or basically they could have had Kawaki say something like, oh, my mother died before right after I was born, or something like that. They should have showed, or they should have gave some type of explanation or gave us a little bit more information on Kawaki's mother. So that would have been cool. And then Hinata could have said something like, oh, I'm your mother now, or something like that. So she could have been comforting Kawaki. We could have got more about Kawaki's backstory, more about his past, and learning more about him, like who his mother was and stuff. It's very disappointing that we didn't get that stuff, but yeah, I did like the Uzumaki, you know, family vacation stuff. So as far as the Funato Clan arc, I already basically reviewed every episode of that arc on my video on my channel. The one episode that I didn't review is the episode that came right after that, and I did watch the episode. Basically, the episode that came right after the end of the Funato Clan arc. It was still kind of connected to the Funato Clan arc, but I don't look at it as being like the end of the Funato Clan arc, really. But it was still kind of connected to it. It was basically when Kawaki and Boruto and everybody else, when they got back to the Hidden Leaf Village after the Funato Clan arc, and then Boruto and Kawaki had a fight during that episode. So I would probably rate that episode like a 5 out of 10. That's one of the worst episodes in the Boruto anime. I'm gonna keep it real with you. The Uzumaki family vacation arc where they went to the hot springs. That arc, I said arc. That episode was like a 10 out of 10 episode. The episode where the Uzumaki family went to the hot springs. That was a 10 out of 10 episode in terms of art, animation, and story. But the episode that came right after the end of the Funato Clan arc, where Kawaki and Boruto had a fight, that episode was pretty bad. I'll give it like a 5 out of 10. The art wasn't good in that episode. The animation wasn't good in that episode. The fight between Boruto and Kawaki wasn't good in that episode in terms of art and animation, and the story wasn't good in that episode. Like, I don't even remember that episode too much because I watched it like all the way back then, or I watched it a while ago. But what I do remember is the reasoning for their fight made no sense at all. Like, it was kind of like a dumb, like they were fighting for a dumb reason and stuff. So overall, I just didn't like that episode at all. That was the worst episode in 2022, and one of the worst episodes in the Boruto anime. Now let's move on to the Kawaki and Himawari Ninja Academy arc. I've seen a lot of people that didn't like this arc. A lot of people criticizing this arc online. A lot of their criticisms were invalid. So overall, that arc was great. I would give that arc I would give it at least a 9.5 out of 10, probably even a 10 out of 10. That was a great arc. The fight, I like seeing Himawari and Kawaki team up and work together throughout that arc. That was cool. seeing Himawari actually play a relevant role in the story, that was pretty good. Kawaki got great character development in that arc, fantastic character development. Like realizing that, even though, his academy comrades, his, classmates in the academy, even though they're not as strong as him, Kawaki got the character development where he realized that power isn't everything. So other things are important, not just power, intellect and teamwork and stuff like that. So that was great. That arc was great for Kawaki's character development. Plus, I like seeing, like I said, I like seeing Himawari play a relevant role in the story. Also, the fight in that episode, the final fight of that arc where Kawaki and Himawari teamed up to fight against their sensei, Hana Sensei, was great. You would think that Kawaki would be able to, and yes, Kawaki would have been able to beat her by himself, but he didn't want to kill her. He didn't want to do that much damage to her. He's not really just trying to kill, even though she was a criminal and stuff like that, Kawaki, he's not evil. He's not really trying to kill people. So he was holding back, and he was deliberately holding back throughout that whole arc. And you can see, like, those points in that arc where he thinks he's going too far, I believe, and he thinks he should have held back more, I believe, in certain points during that arc. But in that whole arc, he wasn't. I'm pretty sure it was plenty of proof that he wasn't going all out, but he wasn't using his body modifications, his scientifically enhanced body modifications. He wasn't using that stuff in his arc. And he was really mainly using punches and kicks, and he did use like some fire style jutsu here and there and stuff, I believe. So it was cool seeing him use ninjutsu and stuff more. He wasn't really trying to kill Hana, or he wasn't really trying to. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure that's what it was, because he basically, the whole thing with Hana, and Hana was a fantastic villain. In fact, Hana was a great villain. Great, very underrated. She was a great villain. The whole split personality thing, we got to see more detail and depth. We seen a little bit of her backstory about how, like how she got to how she was. And like, I think it had something to do with I think it was something kind of like a Zabuza thing where she had to kill like her comrades in order to be promoted to being like a part of the guard of the land of bamboo or whatever. So I think it was kind of similar to Zabuza's situation where he had to kill some of his comrades. And in order for her to do that, she had to she had to become two separate people, essentially. She kind of became bipolar, like a split personality, basically. And one of the personalities inside of her, which is the one that she used to basically suppress her other self, her kinder self, and to kill multiple people, that version of her basically took over. And since that version of her took over, like they were still operating in the same body, but basically the assassin version of Hana took over. So it was a cool backstory. She came to the Hidden Leaf Village using her regular personality, and she basically suppressed that darker Hana in order to achieve her mission. Kawaki, he didn't really want to. The reason why he was holding back against Hana is because he didn't want to kill her, because he still viewed her as his teacher. So the whole thing about her split personality kind of started to show. But yeah, he didn't really want to kill Hana, which is why he was holding back against her. And Hana, basically, I think it was like some type of, her inner self was eventually like sealed or something away, and like at the end of the arc or whatever, like her evil self, that version of her. But yeah, so and then she ended up remaining the teacher. She's a great character, a great villain and stuff. So the arc had a great villain, and also it was logically, the whole thing about Kawaki holding back was logical. Plus Kawaki getting character development was fantastic. Plus Hinata was great Himawari was great in the arc. The arc was just fantastic overall. I'll probably say it was a 10 out of 10 arc. Just like the Fullmetal Clan arc. I'll probably say the Fullmetal Clan arc was maybe a 9.5 out of 10, but I'll probably even say that was a 10 out of 10 arc. The only problems I had in that arc was, or the main problems I had in that arc was sometimes the art and animation wasn't that good. The Kawaki and Himawari Ninja Academy arc, I'll say that was a 10 out of 10 arc. It was only one problem that I had during that arc, and that was some of the comedy scenes where Kawaki was getting hit around. He was getting, knocked around by some of these academy students, but you could tell he didn't really want to hurt them. So it was kind of like a comedy thing, kind of like how Naruto gets punched around by Sakura sometimes. Back in Naruto Part 1 in Shippuden, he was getting punched around by Sakura, even though Naruto's way stronger than Sakura. It's similar to that. Kawaki was getting knocked around, punched around by weaker academy characters, which I didn't like at all. But that was really my only problem with this arc, and that wasn't a major problem. Now, moving on to the final arc that we got in 2022, which was that whole arc. It was like a whole little Genjutsu arc. It's kind of similar to the Squid Games. It seemed like Boruto, kind of took some inspiration from the Squid Games. I forgot the exact name of the arc. So for the sake of this video, I'm just gonna call it the Squid Games arc because I forgot the exact name of the arc. But yeah, it was basically like Boruto and a bunch of other people were stuck. Oh yeah, I did forget to mention it was a mini arc that happened right before this arc where Boruto and Sasuke basically went to get a hawk for Sasuke. So they were kind of like on a mission together to go get a hawk for Sasuke. During this time, Boruto met this kid. He taught him how to read and stuff, and this kid, eventually kind of like stood up to his mother and helped Boruto and Sasuke during basically at the end of the arc. And Sasuke got a new hawk. That was a nice little setup arc for Sasuke going on his mission to find Code. Nice little setup there. Overall, that arc was cool. It was like 3 episodes. I don't remember that much of it, but yeah, overall, it was from what I remember, it was a cool arc. I can't give it like a below, like I'll say it's probably 9.5 to like a 10 out of 10. I didn't really notice any problems in that arc, really, aside from maybe art problems. I don't even think I'll notice any art problems in that arc. So yeah, that was a good arc. Also, as far as those in between episodes, I said that I'm pretty sure I said that the only episode that I watched in between the Fullmetal Clan arc and the Kawaki and Himawari Ninja Academy arc is I watched the episode that came right after the Fullmetal Clan arc where Kawaki and Boruto fought, and I watched the Uzumaki Family Vacation Hot Springs episode. Other than that, I think the rest of those episodes I didn't watch. So what I'll do is, I'm not going to talk about those episodes in this video. What I'll do is on my community tab, I'm going to, basically give you my ratings for those episodes. If I do end up watching those episodes, which I think I will end up watching them, I'll just give you my ratings for what would I rate those different episodes out of 10. So yeah, that's what I'll do for that. Now let's talk about the last arc of 2022. Another great arc. We got introduced to the final Korra member, and this Korra member was foreshadowed all the way back in Boruto opening 7. So this Korra member was foreshadowed for over 100 episodes in over 2 years. So all the way back in 2020 when we got Boruto opening 7 back in 2020, it was shown that there was 9 inner Korra members. Now we know Kawaki was technically considered one of them, so there were 8 more that was shown in like a silhouetted form in that opening 7. And that was over 100 episodes ago, and over 2 years ago. So that's great foreshadowing for the Boruto anime. The fact that they foreshadowed that there was still one more inner Korra member, and we didn't find out who that inner Korra member was all the way until the end of 2022. Fantastic foreshadowing with the opening. Fantastic. I got to give the anime props for that. Now, so yeah, we got revealed the final Korra member. I think she was I can't remember what number. I think she was the 8th Korra member or something like that. I can't remember which number she had as far as the Roman numerals. But yeah, we got the final Korra member revealed. She had everybody in this big little genjutsu, and that I'm not. See, look, because that arc just recently ended, basically at the end of 2022. Just to sum it up, that arc was great. Basically, she basically got character development in that arc, realizing that she has a purpose in life, and she had everybody in that genjutsu because she wanted to figure out what the purpose of life was. Basically, she was trying to find her value, the purpose of her life, and she thought kind of like her life was pointless at this point because she was kind of like rejected from Korra, kind of kicked out of Korra. Ishiki / Jigen did some damage to her, and then she basically escaped Korra. It seemed like, I guess they thought she was dead or whatever, and she escaped Korra, and she was trying to find out the purpose of life, and she did so after basically getting talked no jutsu about Boruto in the genjutsu. Boruto said, "Hey, there is a reason for living, basically, and you can find your reason for living." And basically at the end of the arc, she basically said she found her reason to live. I think Boruto said something about find a dream that will stir your heart. And then that kind of made her blush. And then at the end of the arc, she was kind of blushing. And then she sent the letter to Boruto saying that she was going to come visit Boruto and that she found her purpose and something that stirred her heart or whatever. Now, I think she's going to get killed off by Code because she's not in the manga. And I don't think the anime is going to, I don't think she's going to really, I think she is going to appear again in the anime, but I think it's going to be either shown or stated that she got killed by Code. And yeah, overall, that was a great arc. Great character. I like all the characters in that arc for the most part. And that was a great arc in general. So overall, Boruto in 2022 was a 10 out of 10 year. Fantastic. It wasn't the worst year for Boruto like some people were trying to act like it was. I think 2019 was still the worst year for Boruto. That was the year that we got the Mirai Sarutobi arc and the Konohamaru arc. We got the time travel arc and the Urashiki stuff. So that year, I think that year is still the worst year for Boruto, 2019, because I think we got a little bit of the Mitsuki arc in that year as well. The Mitsuki arc was good, and a lot of basically that Urashiki stuff where he was hunting for the One Tails. That whole arc was great, and the Mitsuki arc was great. And the Mirai, I didn't like the Mirai Sarutobi arc that much, even though in my Boruto arcs, my ranking Boruto arc video, I believe I gave that arc a 10 out of 10. Just to revisit that, I don't think that arc is a 10 out of 10. I think it had 10 out of 10 character development from Mirai Sarutobi by the end of the arc. However, that arc is very slow paced, very boring, bad with the comedy. It didn't really get good until basically like the tail end of that arc. I think that arc was like 6 episodes, and it didn't really get good until like the last 2 episodes, basically. Mirai Sarutobi got great character development in that arc. However, that arc was slow paced, boring, and I didn't like the comedy in that arc. So overall, I'm gonna drop that arc down to like a 7 out of 10. It's like a 7 out of 10 max. That's one of the worst arcs. In fact, I would say that's probably even the worst arc in Boruto. I think that's even worse than the Konohamaru arc. And I did criticize the Konohamaru arc in my Boruto arcs rank video. I said that the Konohamaru arc was, it's kind of like the opposite of Mirai. The Konohamaru arc is like the opposite of Mirai Sarutobi arc. It's entertaining. It's the comedy stuff in that arc is good. It's entertaining. The romance in that arc is good. So that arc is just basically a breeze to watch. It's a fun arc to watch. However, Konohamaru didn't have any character development and stuff like that. So it seems like a pointless arc. I mean, it was entertaining, but that's it. Really, it didn't really add much to the story besides being entertaining. The Mirai Sarutobi arc is the exact opposite. Mirai got character development, and that arc basically did great for Mirai as far as giving her character development. However, the arc was very boring and slow paced. So it's basically like the exact opposite of the Konohamaru arc. So the Konohamaru arc, I would probably give a 7 out of 10, or actually even an 8 out of 10, honestly, because I think if something is slow paced and boring, that just makes it even worse. So I'll give the Konohamaru like an 8.5 out of the Konohamaru arc an 8.5 out of 10, and the Mirai Sarutobi arc a 7 out of 10. Now, in terms of 2022, let me just go ahead and rank some of these arcs in 2022 while I'm at it. The Funichi Clan arc, if I'm taking art and animation into consideration, I'll give that arc a 9 out of 10 if I'm taking art and animation into consideration. So I'll give that arc a 9 out of 10, the Funichi Clan arc. The Kawaki and Himawari Ninja Academy arc, 10 out of 10. And the final arc of Boruto in 2022, I forgot the name of it, but let's just call it the Squid Games arc. I'm going to give that a 10 out of 10. So yeah, that's Boruto in 2022. Fantastic. It was a great year. I wish they add more anime original arcs, and we still haven't got an arc where Sarda got the third tomo on her Sharingan, and we know that basically in January we're gonna be getting the Sasuke Wrestling and Naruto. Well, really we're gonna get this Wrestling series because they did add a little bit of Kakashi Wrestling stuff into the first episode of the Sasuke Wrestling animated adaptation arc. So basically, I think we're gonna get parts of all of the Wrestling series into the anime. So we already know that we got some of the Kakashi Wrestling novel adapted into the anime in episode 282, but that episode was mainly focused on the Sasuke Wrestling novel. And maybe they'll add in some of the Naruto Wrestling novel into the anime. Maybe they'll add in some of that content into the anime towards the end of the Sasuke Wrestling arc. And if they do, I hope they do that because that'll be great. It's a scene I want to see from that novel that I heard about anyways, because I heard Sasuke and Sakura kiss that novel. I would like to see that get animated. And we know that the Code arc is going to be starting in February, and the Sasuke Wrestling arc is apparently going to be 5 episodes. So the Code arc is going to be starting in February. With that being said, it's kind of strange that Sarda now awakened her third tomo Sharingan, and the Code arc is about to start. And she got her third tomo. She got the third tomo on her Sharingan all the way back in the Boro fight during the Kawaki arc. So the fact that the anime is going into the Code arc and she still doesn't have her third tomo on her Sharingan, she still doesn't have the third tomo on her Sharingan. I don't know why that's the case. I thought we would have gotten a whole arc dedicated to Sarada Uchiha that would have shown her basically activate or awaken the third tomo on her Sharingan at the end of the arc in like the last fight of the arc or something, or the climax of the arc. But we didn't get that. So maybe she's going to awaken the third tomo she's going to awaken the third tomo on her Sharingan when she fights Kawaki in the Code arc, because she does have a fight with Kawaki in the Code arc. It's really kind of like a sparring match, but they do get kind of serious. So maybe they're going to have her awaken the third tomo while she's fighting Kawaki in that little training, that they were doing. Although I don't know if training, a situation where she's training is going to meet the qualifications for her awakening the third tomo on her Sharingan. So maybe, I don't know what they're going to do, because the manga is still on the Code arc. We're still basically in the Code arc on the manga. I mean, in the manga right now. So the anime is not really. So I don't know. I don't know if they're gonna wait until a future anime original arc to show her awakening the third tomo. But it's just kind of weird that she hasn't awaken the third tomo yet. But anyways, with all of that being said, if you guys like the video, please drop a like. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing and clicking that channel notification bell to be notified on all of my future videos. And share the video all over the internet and drop a comment. Let me know what you thought of this video in the comment section below. And with that being said, thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.
I wanted to. I'll be a hero.